everyone. I'll get this microphone adjusted a little bit here. This is Michael, and welcome to our Reappearance of the Christ meditation. Now, tonight we have quite a bit going on, so this will be a slightly shorter meditation because immediately following this on the same channel, we will have our special pentagram, sacred pentagram, day one meditation for the approaching full moon in Scorpio. So to you we'll be offering that, and I think you'll just be able to hang on and maybe, just keep your channel, but if not, just sign in again to where you are right now. Well, we have 5 days left, 6 days until the election in America. It will grow very intense. So without further ado, let us work on this great invocation number 2. Aligning with the higher powers that will to see the will of God accomplished, to see the divine purpose expressed through the divine plan. Let the lords of liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, O Mighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, O Mighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O Mighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O Mighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. Oh. It's a powerful first ray mantram, and we need that as we work on the inside. Now, a little bit of reading from the Reappearance of the Christ, page 73-74, and I'll bring that up so you can see. Okay. We're talking here about the energies which will be uniquely distinctive of the kingdom of God. They are gathering momentum and assuming direction through the agency of the masters of the wisdom in cooperation with the will of the Christ. Whilst this energy has been accumulating or mounting in potency since the full moon of June 1945, which I think was a great moment of decision for the Christ regarding his physical appearance, reappearance. 3 events of great moment in the living experience of Christ, and therefore of the hierarchy, have taken place, and their effects are in process of consolidation. Now, of course, 75 years later, they have been with us a long time, but are decisive in our future. I can only make reference to them, says the Tibetan, for it is not possible to prove the factual nature of what is here said. Only possibility, probability, and the law of correspondences can indicate the rightness of these events. Their effect will be noted, especially after the moment of emergence. And, the emergence, of course, of the Christ himself, but first preceded by the members of the spiritual hierarchy, which will be among the first to externalize. So let's take a look at least at the beginning of these events. Tonight I don't have so much time to, they're rather lengthy, so I can't even really finish the first one, but they are in order. The spirit of peace descended upon the Christ. That's number one. And then the second one is considering Christ as the forerunner of the Aquarian age. And it looks like a lengthy section. And then Christ as the releaser of energy. Okay, so at least we can begin a little bit with the spirit of peace. The spirit of peace descended upon the Christ, or upon Christ. The New Testament bears witness to a somewhat similar event when at the baptism we read that, quote, he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and alighting upon him. So this is St. Matthew 3:16. This Spirit is a being of tremendous cosmic potency and is today overshadowing the Christ in much the same manner as Christ 2,000 years ago overshadowed or worked through the Master Jesus. Now think about that. A being of tremendous cosmic potency. So his presence in Shambhala is not permanent. He has other things to do, but at this point he is with the great Lord. This spirit of peace is not the sum total of an emotional and static calm, bringing to an end the turmoil on the earth and instituting an era of peace. He is, in a mysterious sense, the spirit of equilibrium. We can see then that he would be related to the being who is the Lord of the constellation Libra. He works with the law of action and reaction, and inevitably, and the inevitability of his activity will be recognized. His work will demonstrate in two ways, fully when the Christ appears among men, and slowly and gradually until that time. So how will that demonstrate? The chaos, turmoil, emotional disturbance, and mental unbalance found today in the world will be under this law of equilibrium, balanced by a corresponding cycle of calm, emotional quiet, and mental poise, thus releasing humanity into a new phase and experience of freedom. The adjusted peace will be commensurate with the experienced disturbance. So let us mark this out. And then the second of these demonstrations, the hate which is so dominant in the world today, even after the war, and even now we can see it rising again, will, through the life of the Spirit of Peace, working through the Christ, the embodiment of the love of God, be balanced by an expressed goodwill. Goodwill, love in action. The guarantee of the appearance of that goodwill is the excessive expression of hate, a hate which has been slowly mounting in the minds of men since the beginning of the 19th century, and which is reaching a new high at this time, and that was 75 years ago. A proportionate measure of the energy of love will demonstrate later as the result of the activity of the Spirit of Peace, working through the Prince of Peace, as Christ is sometimes called. And I wonder if this is Isaiah, I wonder, 9:6. Let's see here. Yes, I'll finish at least this section. This spiritual being will not descend from the high place whereon he works and from whence his energy is directed, but the Christ will act and serve as a channel for his directed potency. And so at the moment I believe that that great being is focused within Shambhala. The avatar of synthesis also focused with overshadowing the planetary logos. The inflow of his divine energy, which is extraplanetary energy, let's bear that in mind, is destined to bring peace eventually upon Earth through the expression of goodwill. This goodwill will bring about right human relations. Humanity registered unconsciously, of course, the first impact of this energy in May 1936, and again, and this is the period in which we are now dealing, in June of 1945. The war in Europe was concluded, and there was an unconditional surrender of the forces which represented the Lodge of Darkness. Now, I think that's all I will read for the moment, given the demands of the evening here. But it's good for us to think of this being as extraplanetary, now associated with the planet, not descending, but instead overshadowing the Christ, along with the Buddha and the avatar of synthesis. So this is the end of reading, and today, 29th of October, and if all goes as we expect, we'll be back on the 5th of November to continue this. Okay. 5 November of 20, and it will be a morning session. This is, really quite amazing information, and telling us what really is going on behind the scenes as the hierarchy prepares to make its first concerted reappearance since the end of the Atlantean War. So it is a momentous happening. We'll get into the Christ consciousness the next time. Okay. Very good. Now, let's go on with our meditation. Okay, and we'll do that. Absorbing, first breathing in the white light. And we see our co-disciples in the light, and we know we are working together in a concerted manner to assist on the inside with the emergence of the good, the beautiful, and the true. We realize our work with the triangles is assisting the men and women of goodwill to express their loving, active intention, and visualizing our own little network of triangles. As a whole, we visualize the light, the goodwill and love, and the light pouring through our own little network. Now our attitude is one of an intended personality quietness, and we formulate in that quietness, responsive to our inner and higher self, the soul, we formulate clearly to ourselves and in our own words the answers to the following questions. As a member of the new group of world servers, what is my specific fixed intention at this moment of dedicated contact with my soul? Is my concentrated and expressed personality purpose in line with hierarchical intention as far as I am permitted to know it? Have I, in my own personal life, earned the right, because of definite effort and not so much because of success, to stand with those servers who are now undertaking the work of preparation? And having answered these questions in the light of the soul, and then we say this powerful mantra with emphasis: forgetting the things which lie behind, I will strive towards my higher spiritual possibilities. I dedicate myself anew to the service of the coming One, and will do all I can to prepare men's minds and hearts for that event. I have no other life intention. So this is a really consecrated life, consecrated to the plan, to the hierarchy, to the Christ. That is what is indicated by this mantra. Then we visualize the world situation as best we can, and in terms of our major world interests, and with what knowledge of world affairs we may possess. We see the mass of men everywhere glowing with a dim light. And here and there, points of brighter light, where members of the new group of world servers and people of spiritual intention and of loving hearts can be found working for their fellow men. And then we visualize through the creative imagination the vivid light of hierarchy streaming towards humanity and slowly merging with the light which is already within the human race. And then we say the first stanza of the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. And then we ponder upon the reappearance of the Christ. This is really going to happen. We have to be convinced of the reality of this great hierarchical project. The externalization in the planetary centers of certain of the masters of the wisdom, and the reappearance of the great Lord, the Mighty One, the Kalki Avatar. And we realize that no matter by what name he may be called in the many world religions, he is still the same great spiritual identity. He is for the upliftment of all humanity. And so we reflect and speculate upon the possible results of his reappearance. The question arises, for what period of time must we endure, struggle and fight? Because the Christ is anxious publicly to appear to his loved humanity. And the answer comes that he will come unfailingly when a measure of peace has been restored, when the principle of sharing is at least in the process of controlling economic affairs, and when the churches and political groups have begun to clean house, then he can and will come, and the kingdom of God will be publicly recognized and will no longer be a thing of dreams and wishful thinking and of orthodox hope. And then together we say the second stanza of the great invocation. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. we endeavor to concentrate our fixed intention to serve and to spread love in our surroundings. And we realize that insofar as we can do these things, we are attempting to blend our personal will with the divine will. And then we say stanza 3 of the invocation: from the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. So let us have a purpose-guided life. We lay our practical plans for the coming week. What shall we contribute, whether of time or of money or of interest, to further the preparations for the coming of the Christ? We are a band of forerunners in this era of the forerunner, the closing years of this era, and we do all we can to facilitate the emergence of the great Lord and his hierarchy. We respond to the vibration of the Christ. We commit ourselves in his name. We have gathered in your name, Lord Maitreya. Be with us. And now in closing, we sound the Om 3 times, dedicating the threefold personality to the work of preparation. Thank you, everyone. We have a meditation coming up on the sacred pentagram for preparation for the Scorpio full moon. Tomorrow we will have the pre-meditation, the preparatory meditation for the Scorpio full moon. and also Sacred Pentagram number 2, and in the morning, Cosmic Fire in depth. At least I'm talking about the morning in Europe. And then the next day, the full moon itself. And I think you have already received a notification. So we'll just have a little bit of music, and then we will prepare for the next broadcast, which will start in another 20 minutes or so. Thank you for being here. And you know, we can do this meditation on the Christ with dynamic intention. It doesn't have to be long. Sometimes we have the readings, and that fills us in and gives us more substance with which to meditate. So we'll be with you shortly. Many blessings, lots of love from all of us here.
At the center of all love I stand, and from that center I the soul